Very good. You remember, right? Who is elder one? Amy? No. Then who is elder one? Ju. Okay, super. Good. Okay. Then who is neighbor? Who is next to their door? Lorry. Okay. Where did they go? Yes. They went to a river. Why did they go there? They decided to do ice skating, right? Okay. Then did they go to river? Yes. They reached. Then who came first? Yes, Lorry and Ju. Who was at last? Very good. Amy. That little girl, right? Okay. Then what did these old children do? Yes, they started skating, right? Lorry, he said, I have to check whether the water is frozen or water is thick or not. So I will start first, and he started, right? Okay. Then who was following him? Very good. Ju. Then who didn't reach it? Amy. Did they see that? No, they didn't watch. Then what happened? These two older children, they went first, but the little girl, she didn't start her journey, right? Okay. Then who went first? Lorry. Then what did he shout? Yes, very good. He shouted that keep near the shore because the river is thin in the middle. He shouted that keep near the shore because in the middle the river is thin. Okay, who shouted? Lorry. Who heard this? Ju. Very good. Ju alone heard these words. Okay, but Amy, she didn't hear this, but Ju thought that she heard that. Okay, who heard these words? Ju. Very good. Ju alone heard this word. Did Amy hear this? No, because she was so far from him. She couldn't hear that. Okay. When Ju looked back, Amy was started her skating. Okay. But Ju thought she must have heard these words. But actually, she couldn't hear that. Okay. So Ju started her next bend. Okay. Let's see the continuation of the story. Okay. Who are the characters? Lorry, Ju, and Amy. Am I right? Okay. This Lorry, he scattered round the bench. Okay, now he scattered round the bench. This Ju, she was at the turn. Okay, she was at the turn to scatter round the river. Okay, but this Amy, she started her skating and she was skating in the middle of the river. Okay, what happened in that middle of the river? That water is thin. Am I right? If she goes there, she will fall down. Am I right? Yes. So she started her skating towards that middle of the river. Okay, that thin water. Okay, have you got it? That thin ice. Okay, then what happened? This Ju, she was turned back and she was stood. Okay, she stood still. That time alone, she stood and she was watching her sister. She started her skating towards that river. At that moment, when Ju saw her sister, that moment itself, this Amy fall down. Okay, this Amy fall down. The thin ice broke with a crash. Crash means a loud, sudden, loud sound. Okay, sudden, there was a splash of water. Okay? Splash means a sound made by something striking or falling into liquid. Okay? A sound made by something striking or falling into liquid. That is called splash. Okay? For example, if we throw a stone into a pond or other water bodies, at that time we can hear a sound. Okay? That sound is called as splash. You can experience this. Okay? Today you go and throw a stone to a tank or something. We can hear that sound. Okay? That sound is called as splash. Have you got it? Splash. What is the meaning? Crash? Sudden loud sound. Okay, that ice broke with a crash. Crash means sudden loud sound. Okay, then there was a splash. When she fall down, there was a splash because a sound made by something striking or falling into a liquid. Okay, splash means a sound made by something striking or falling into a liquid. Amy, she fall down into the water. That time we can hear a sound, splash. Okay, so there was a splash. Have you got it? Did you understand? Yes. Two saw this. Okay, so she can hear her sister's scream. Okay, her sister Amy screamed loudly. Screaming means crying. Okay, she cried loudly. Okay, so Ju was calling her friend Lori. Okay, but her voice is not audible to Lori. Okay, he couldn't hear her voice. So she started to rush on Lori. Okay, she started to go near to Lori, but she couldn't. Her leg is weak now. Okay, so she couldn't reach Lori also. Only she can stand and watch her sisters crying. Okay, she couldn't do anything. Okay, she was looking or staring her. Staring means like this, looking like this. Okay, she was staring with terror stricken. Okay, staring means looking like this. Okay, looking in a particular place. She was staring her hood. Okay, hood means a part of that coat. Okay, she was looking her blue hood. That means that Amy, she was wearing a coat. That part, one of the parts of that coat is called as hood. Look at this picture. This is hood. Ju can see only her sister's blue hood above the water. Okay, at that time suddenly Lori shouted that bring a rail from the fence. Okay, quick, quick, bring a rail from the fence. Who shouted like this? Lori. What do you mean by rail? Do you know? Rail means a bar or series of bars fixed on upright supports or attached to a wall or ceiling used to hang things on. Okay? See, look at this picture. This is a rail. If anyone fall down in the well or any other pond or anything else, they can give this rail to them. Okay, so that person can easily climb up. Okay, it will help, this rail will help the person to climb up. That is called a rail. Okay, rail. Have you got it? Lori shouted to bring that rail from the fence to whom? Yes, a Ju. Okay, what is the meaning fence? Do you know fence? Yes, compound. Okay, compound. It's like with the use of wood or something, wood or bark, we can make this. That is called fence. Okay, Tamil we can say veli. Have you heard this word? Veli. Okay. So he shouted to Joe to take that rail from the fence. Have you got it? So that they can easily take Amy from that water. Then she ran away, but she couldn't run also because her leg is weak now. Okay, so she was crying. Then she can see she was staring with terror stricken. Okay, she was staring with scared. She can see only her sister's hood. Hood means one of the parts of that coat. She can see her sister's blue hood above the water. Okay, at that time, Laurie shouted, "Bring the rail from the fence, quick, quick." Okay, who said like this? Laurie. Okay, now you know the meaning of crash. Crash means sudden loud sound. Okay, then what is the meaning splash? A sound made by something striking or falling into liquid. Then what is the meaning terror stricken? Very scared. Okay, very scared. Clear now? Okay, let's see the remaining part in the next class. Okay, before that I'll give you activities. Okay, first one, you have to read this text properly. Okay, then underline the hard words. Now I will play the audio. You can replay the audio again and again, then clarify those words. Okay, then you have to learn this meanings. Have you got it? You have to learn this meanings. You can skip this. Okay, don't need to learn this. Then remaining 3. You have to learn this meanings. Then you have to learn the word of the day. Then write 5 sentences by your own. Don't copy from somewhere else. You have to write by your own. Okay, write 5 sentences by your own using the word hilarious. Okay, hilarious. Have you got it? Can you write? Okay. Laurie had skated round the bench and Joe was just at the turn. Amy started to skate towards the smoother ice in the middle of the river. Suddenly, Joe stopped and stood still. Joe turned around just in time to see Amy fall. The thin ice broke with a crash and there was a splash of water. Joe heard Amy scream loudly. Joe tried to call Laurie, but her voice was gone. She tried to rush forward, but her feet seemed weak. She could only stand, staring with a terror-stricken face at Amy's blue hood above the water. Suddenly, Laurie shouted, "Bring a rail from the fence, quick, quick."